Hello, and welcome to the latest edition of the Chiswick Coffee Break, actually episode 14. And today it's actually me. I'm turning the tables on myself. So many people know me from my networking, but they actually don't know much about me. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to do something on me this time. And I'm so fortunate to have my colleague and friend, Sarah Dosanjh, who's going to interview me. So thank you, Sarah. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. Sarah is a psychotherapist and author of the book I Can't Stop Eating. After her own recovery from a binge eating disorder, she now helps others make peace with food and create self-trust around their eating. She's appeared on various media outlets such as the BBC Breakfast, Sky's Roundtable, and BBC Radio 1. Currently living in Chiswick, Sarah will soon be leaving us for New York, a very good place to go, where she will be staying for a couple of months. She may or may not be returning to us in Chiswick. We'll have to wait and see, and I'm not going to accept that. You better come back to Chiswick, Sarah. So thank you, Sarah, for doing this.
Thank you, Jeannie. I feel honored that you have asked me to do this. So it's my turn to tell the viewers about you. Some people might know some of this stuff. I didn't when I was looking at your bio. So here we go. Jeannie is an Anglo-American with over 25 years experience in the travel and tourism industry. Her early travel career was in New York before she took a temporary placement in London in the hotel trade. She caught the UK bug and moved to London permanently in 1987 to work for a student travel specialist. Progressing from general manager to marketing director to managing director, she became responsible for a turnover of more than £40 million. Being in the travel and tourism industry gave Jeannie a love for travel and created opportunities to see the world, from Asia, Africa, and Australasia to South America, and of course, Europe and North America too. Jeannie stopped counting flights after hitting 400, which is quite an achievement for someone who doesn't like flying. She eventually left the travel industry, with 9/11 being a turning point, and used her marketing skills to set up her own consultancy. Her clients range from law, food, including a memorable chocolate maker, garden design, hotels, shopping centres, and of course, travel and tourism. Jeannie was an early adopter for social media and was in there at the beginning of Twitter. She now concentrates her time as marketing consultant, working mostly with SMEs in the West London area. Organising events is one of her strengths. She is an HMO landlord and pension trustee who has grown the Chiswick Business Network to over 800 members. After 30 years living in Chiswick, she still loves this area. Describing herself, Jeannie says she is a networker extraordinaire. Now, Jeannie, Chiswick is a long way from New York. So how did you end up settling here in Chiswick?
Oh, well, it is a long way from New York. When I first moved here, as you do, I moved areas. And I think when I first lived here, the first area was West Kensington. And then I moved to Kensington and I did a bit of Battersea. And then I realized, like a lot of people did in the 90s, I think throughout the late 80s and 90s, you need to buy a place. So I started to look, and I had friends in the Chiswick area, and I actually immediately took to Chiswick when I came here. I loved it. So I thought, well, I have friends and I love the area. So I off pursuit of a flat, and I have to say that it may be right or wrong. I actually haven't moved off the street that I bought my flat in nearly 30 years ago. I've moved once, but across the street, but I still live what I think is the nicest street in Chiswick, which is Arlington Gardens. And yeah, I love my neighbors. I love the neighborhood. So there I am.
Well, I think I speak on my behalf and on behalf of many of the local businesses that we're very glad that you did.
Hmm.
Maybe you could tell us what inspired you to set up the Chiswick Business Network.
I had been a member of, I do love networking. I am, as I said, I like a networker extraordinaire. And I had been members of the breakfast business networking and all sorts of networking groups, etc. And I've been there and done that. I had my range of elevator pitches, but I actually got kind of bored and I wanted something a bit different. And I was talking to a friend of mine, colleague friend of mine, and we said, why can't we do something ourselves? Why don't we set up something that's a little bit more social and a little bit more easygoing so that people don't feel the pressure of doing an elevator pitch or having to listen to long speeches and long things and stuff like that. So we started something called the Chiswick Lunch Break, which was a monthly lunch at the local pub, the Lamb, which is a lovely pub. That was back in 2016, and it just kind of grew from there. And then the turning point was the pandemic, when of course we couldn't meet in person, have lunch, etc. So I did it online, and it actually grew hugely online. It was quite interesting. I had bigger turnout online than I used to have at the lunches. And from there, once the pandemic was over, the Chiswick Business Network grew, because I wanted to try and do something again a bit different, try different venues, show off the great venues that Chiswick have, etc. And it's just continued to grow and grow and grow. We would lovely to get about 35, 40 people on average for events. And as I said, show off some great Chiswick venues, and have met some wonderful contacts. And really, the end of it is I'm the same as everybody else who attends those networking. I'm looking for contacts to make business. So I created something to help me meet other people and get business. And I hope that's happening for everybody else.
Yeah. And I appreciate that you do that. I guess the problem is sometimes we're doing something like that, that becomes the thing that you're known for. So this is an opportunity, Jeannie, elevator pitch, or as long as you want, we're on YouTube, but tell us about what else you do beyond the Chiswick Business Network.
Yeah, it gets a bit frustrating that somebody, a lot of people go, oh, Jeannie's the networker person. She runs the Chiswick, but I actually do have a career and work. So I am a marketing consultant, as the bio that you kindly read out said. And really, I am a marketing consultant specializing in social media. And as I like to say, I like to take the stress out of anybody's marketing plans and marketing items that they need to do. Social media is a part of it. I do like social media. I think it has its downfalls sometimes too, but it's a necessary evil. But on its own, social media doesn't work. It's part of your marketing mix. So I very much approach things holistically and make it as part of everything that you do for your marketing. So that's what I do. Obviously, I run events too, and I love organizing events. I'm doing something soon, which is a Mother's Day pop-up. I love doing craft fairs. I like doing workshops, helping people set that up. So I do love organizing the events, but I am a marketeer through and through, and I'd like people to know that I do marketeer, whether it's a strategy or an audit or just helping, organize a campaign. That's really what I do.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of stages are people at when they come to you with the social media marketing and strategies? So let's say somebody's thinking, I know I could be using social media to help me with this. What is it that they need? I think some people just think of social media and it just seems so big and so much work and people don't know where to start.
Yeah, well, with social media, I mean, I think there's a couple of different schools. There's a school of I hate social media. I don't want to do it. I don't have the time. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. And then there's a school of I'm on every single channel, but I don't know what to say and what to do and all the rest of it. So, I mean, it really is a wide range. I want you to enjoy what you're doing. I want you to enjoy the experience. I don't think you need to be on every single channel. I think there are better channels with better, industries and things like that. And I also think that people have to realize that just because you're on social media, people aren't going to find you. I mean, it's not like osmosis, like all of a sudden, oh, I'm on social media, so I'm going to get loads of business because I'm on there. Social media is about engagement, and throwing out sales messages and all the rest of it is great. But if you overwhelm it, that's fine. I know what you do, but I want to know the person behind the business. And so I try and help people understand that they need to get out, a bit more about who they are and what they believe in and what they do. So getting back to your question, it's various stages. It could be, like I said, a hate, I don't want to do it, to I'm everywhere, but nothing's happening. And it's kind of, sitting with somebody and saying, right, I can help you use it better. We might have to fine tune it. We might have to get rid of a channel. We might have to do certain things, but we'll make it, more effective. And that's really what you want to do. So,
yeah. Well, let's talk about events, because event organization is where you shine. One of the places where you shine. So share with us some of the events that you're involved with, because I think many of them are community events that perhaps people watching this would be interested in.
Yeah, well, obviously, as I said, I love Chiswick and have been involved, and I know so many things. So I'm involved in a couple of community events, including the Bedford Park Festival and also the Chiswick Book Festival. And I've been doing those for, 8 or 9 years, working with the fantastic tour in Douglas. I help with the social media and get involved in a few other things because I'm at the social media. But I really love doing that. Now, those are things that I help out with. I volunteer and help out with because I want to help. It's for charities, and I think that's really important. But I also think it's a great way to get to know so many people and so many businesses, etc., in the area by working with them. I mean, it's very exciting working with the Chiswick Book Festival because you get to not only promote it, but you get to talk to the authors because you're trying to encourage them to talk to you on social media. So you have a bit of a behind the scenes to try and get them moving with promoting the event, etc. And the Bedford Park Festival and Green Days is just that's coming up in June, actually, again, every year. And it's Green Days in particular is a wonderful event. And I look forward to it. So yeah, very involved in that. I've done various other events for the community. So we did a Christmas pop-up at Workspace Barley Mow, who are wonderful, very supportive people. Like I said, we're doing another Mother's Day. I love working with the creative businesses around here. So there's so many wonderful, small businesses selling products, handmade, artisans, food businesses, etc. We have wonderful businesses to show up, and I really enjoy working with that side of the community as well.
Yeah. Do you have the capacity to take on more events if people have got events they want to put on, or do you have your hands full event-wise at the moment?
I'm always interested to know more. I can't say that I have a huge amount of capacity, but I'm always interested in to know what people are doing, and if I can help, I want to help, and if I can help run some things are easy enough to put together. If somebody came to me and they said they want to run some workshops, their business that wants to get in front of in the Chiswick Business Network, we run something called Lunch and Learn. So it gives local experts the opportunity to address other businesses, etc., and learn from them. And that I only started the end of last year, and that's actually growing and going very well and stuff like that. And if people want to put on their own events, etc., I'm happy to help with the venues and all the rest of it. So I never say never that I don't have capacity, but I will be honest.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, Jeannie, it's been great to put you in the seat and to hear about you. But of course, we've got the final question that you ask everybody on this. Tell us, what's your favorite place in Chiswick?
Oh, I thought about this one. And of course, I love all the usual outdoor places and even indoor places. So whether it's the river or whether it's Chiswick House, I love that. I love some of the newer places. I love the Chiswick Cinema. It's great that we have a local cinema, and it's great to hang out there. We have amazing coffee shop. But I'm down to two places I'm going to mention. One is the green at the end of my street, which is it's called Turnham Green, which confuses people because it's not off of Turnham Green Terrace. There's an actual green, and that's the one opposite Sainsbury's. And the reason I chose it's nothing to look at that's special, although the Friends of Turnham Green have done a wonderful job keeping that looking beautiful and doing things with it. But it became an oasis during the pandemic in particular, because it was the green space that was closest to me, and it allowed me to still have contact with the human race, and many a day meeting friends with our own chairs and sitting 6 feet apart and having conversations. And it really was a bit of a sanctuary. So that's one of my favorite places. And the other one I was thinking about was Chiswick Park, which is that huge campus-like place opposite Gunnersbury too. And while it's not very nice right now because there's some security issues, which I think are hopefully going to go away soon, we're very lucky to have it. It's a beautiful space, really well landscaped. And on the weekend, because my gym is there, it's wonderful with families and dog walkers. And there's a beautiful lake with all sorts of wildlife. And, there's cafes, you can have a coffee and things like that. And the footbridge, if anybody's not seen the footbridge to Chiswick Park, they should really see it. It's a beautiful piece of architecture. And yeah, so those are my two places.
And just to clarify for anyone who might have done what I just did then, when you said Chiswick Park, I went to Chiswick House and Chiswick Park down there. Yeah. And then when you started talking, when you mentioned Gunnersbury, you're talking about the Chiswick Business Park.
Chiswick Business Park, yeah. We call it, I think because I've been going this so long, we call it Chiswick Park. It's Enjoy Work are the people who run it, and it is Chiswick Business Park. I know people call Chiswick House Chiswick Park, which is not quite right too, but it's I get the confusion.
Okay, well, Jeannie, you made it through. Congratulations.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm so appreciative of you taking the time to do this. Now I know what it's like from the other side, but thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you, everybody, and look forward to seeing you at the next Chiswick Coffee Break.